Hello, interwebs. This is Morgan Strong Komnick here, and I appreciate those who voted for seeing what kind of read alouds I should do. I did go to the public library that reopened in my hometown, and I got some children's books, so I'm still doing that for my students or any kids that are interested. I'll share those on my YouTube. And I figured also with my YouTube, I should probably do some readings for my books, because I don't think I've done that, a video of it since Spirit Vision first came out, like 6-7 years ago. So I thought I would read a little bit of my current works like once a week, post them on here, and also put in the link below where you can get my books. All my books are on Amazon under Morgan Strong Komnick. If you can't spell Strong because it has way too many letters in it for its sound, you can just put Morgan Komnick and it'll pop up. My manuscript's almost done for my 7th book, and I'm super excited about that. I've really been appreciative of this time to be creative. I hate the circumstances for it, so I hope you all are staying safe out there. Know I'm with you. Know you can contact me for anything. I love reaching out to others and helping what I can, if it's even just nerding out or talking about books or whatever. I got my geek on today. I've got my Haku shirt, and I've got a little great ball in my ponytail, so thought I would do some fun things for that. I miss going out and dressing up, so this is kind of my expression for that. So I figured we'd start from the beginning, and we got to start with my first book, Spirit Vision. This is my original test print copy, so it's a little beat up, so I apologize, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Spirit Vision is my young adult paranormal mystery series that was first published on December 17th, 2013. That's easy to remember because December 17th is my mom's birthday, and she thought I did that on purpose. I hate to tell her I didn't. It was the publisher's decision, but she still enjoys it. I love going to my local middle schools and high school every year, and I read snippets of different books, and Spirit Vision is one we do a lot. We also act out scenes sometimes in Spirit Vision if I know the teacher and the class, which is also really fun. So I thought I would read a few pages from one of my favorite chapters, which is chapter 10. And chapter 10 was kind of a, I don't know, it was an odd experience to write, but I really enjoy it, and I get a lot of good feedback from that chapter. People tell me it's very random, but it does fit into the story. So kind of the premise before this, if you don't know, this is Starry Moon. She's the main character. She is 15 years old, freshman in high school. She has a weird dream, because, you know, that's, of course, how a lot of young adults' books start nowadays. And she sees this girl, this angelic-like being, talking to her, saying she needs help. You need to help me open this door. And Starry's like, I don't know what's going on. Well, Starry then discovers, or I guess hears through the grapevine at her school, that there was a dead body found in the janitor's closet. That's not a spoiler. It's part of the plot. It's in chapter 2. And Starry sees a picture of the girl. They were able to identify the bones, and it's Marin, who she saw in her dream, this lovely lady in the middle here. And Starry then gets to see Marin as a spirit, in her spirit form, and she's like, Starry, I need your help. You are the spirit warrior. God has chosen you. He chooses one every 40 years. And you are going to be able to help me track down my murderer so I can move on to heaven and take the evil out of their souls, and we'll see what happens. And of course Starry's like, what the nani? Like, what the what? But she's a good person, so she's like, okay, I'll help you. And Marin's like, oh, by the way, wait, you also gotta help my friend right here. His name is Umbra. And because he got killed by the same person that I did. And yeah, so Umbra looks kind of pouty here, and he's kind of like the bad boy type, you know, of course, because there's always a bad boy type. And so the story is about Starry not only learning about the spiritual world and trying to solve this mystery and befriending spirits, but also discovering abilities within herself. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. So, of course, there's paranormal and there's mystery. There's romance, there's action, there's comedy, there's a lot of nerd references. There's anti-bullying issues, because that's a big part of what I believe in. Just slice of life, you know, general high school drama stuff that you're like, if you read this at all, you're like, oh yeah, I totally understand that. So, so in this chapter, Starry is in her dad's classroom. Her dad is her history teacher. And Umbra, who only she can see because she has spiritual abilities, he's going to start messing with her, and as you can predict, things are going to go super well from there. So let's see what happens. Okay, chapter 10. A swift breeze hit my cheek and lightened my chest, allowing the warmth of relief to spread. I was nervous the night before, thinking of the murderer, the message in the bathroom, and worst off, the result. Yet sitting next to the quiet window in my dad's class seemed to give me peace. Dad was discussing the reasons America went into the Korean War. I knew the information and tried to focus, yet my ears and eyes didn't seem to connect. As I began to start a new section of notes, I felt a chill behind me. I sneezed suddenly, and the eerie goosebumps feeling was still there afterwards, hanging, clinging to my skin. "Bless you," someone whispered. I turned to my left to see Alan sitting in the seat next to me taking notes. Thanks, I said with a sigh. I felt something dark leaning over my right shoulder. It was getting closer, making my heart rate increase. The feeling was intense, making my face redden from heat. It got so close that I could see its black figure from the corner of my eye. Then a hand touched my shoulder, and a gentle breath went down to prickle my neck. "Boo!" mocked the voice. I jumped out of my chair, startled like I was bitten. When I did, Alan looked at me strangely, and I heard an evil yet familiar chuckle. "Umbra!" I couldn't look at him, for it would have appeared awkward. I hissed at him without turning or looking away from my notes. "You jerk, why'd you do that?" Umbra cackled hard, but it was muffled as he tried to whisper. "I had to liven this place up a bit, and scaring you was just too fun." He slapped my back at the last statement, pushing me forward a bit. My eyebrow began to twitch with frustration, but I was going to prove to him that I could stay calm. "Is that all you needed?" I whispered in a cool voice. He moved up next to me. I could see he was frowning, which made me smile inside. "I checked the bathroom again, still no response. Lunchtime may be the best time to check. The murderer must go to the school," he said, switching gears. "Or the note could be from someone who really wants to help us," I expressed. He rose his eyes and snorted at me. "Starry, please. I'm not Marin. You can't be so naive to think that someone will want to help us, right?" I looked down at my notes, not making eye contact. "I will not take sides. The evidence will show up, and right now I'm ready to accept anything." My tone was dry and informative. My father turned away from the blackboard and set his chalk down. He sat on his desk and began to ask questions, making commentary on his notes. The class hastily wrote down answers on their papers. Umar began a fake coughing and hacking spell. I thought about stopping my writing for a second to check on him, but I decided to continue. "You got that one wrong." He pointed to one of the questions, leaving his navy ghostly fingerprint on my smooth white paper. "Well, that answered one of the 420,000 questions I had about spirits and my powers. They leave fingerprints." "I think I know what I'm doing," I hushed, somewhat looking up at him as I kept on writing. My peripheral vision caught Umbra glaring at me. "I was programmed to know everything and can look up information in an international database that's programmed into my brain to discover things that I do not know. I know I'm right, and when you're wrong." His smile turned evil. I looked at him, ramming my nose into him by accident, as I said in a heated whisper, "Just let me do it myself." The hardness in my voice felt sharp on my tongue, scaring myself a little bit as I stared at him. His eyes became enlarged the second I got close to him. Did he not like me next to him, or did I hurt his nose by mistake? I heard him gulp as his face started to become red. What am I doing? I turned back toward my paper, leaning my head on my left hand. "Forget it," I said thickly before writing. I noticed he went behind my back, but I pretended not to care. All of a sudden, I felt an energy go inside me. My eyes widened and my heart sprinted, terrified of what was happening. My right hand began to quiver insanely. It seemed to be trying to erase the wrong answer Umbra pointed out. I pulled myself back in my seat to stop the flow, to halt the sinking spell. "The answer is wrong, stupid. You need to change it." Umbra howled in an echo, but from where? I felt a pulse in my head, and there was breathing. Was Umbra in my mind? What the fudge? "You went in my brain?" I shouted in my mind, using all my mental strength to push his presence out of the way long enough so I could control my hand to set my pencil away from me. My mind was swirling from arguing with Umbra. My heart was beating in pain, and my head was splitting. I grabbed my head, hoping to control Umbra, or better yet, push him out completely. "Get out!" I shrilled in my mind. Like magic, a blast of swirling colors zoomed past my eyes. I felt like I was traveling in a sci-fi movie, yet the beautiful and mysterious world disappeared and landed me in a place full of darkness, with dull gray colors. That place, I felt like I was connected to it. The clouds wrapped themselves around me, and before I knew it, I was weak and I collapsed, accepting the burn of the hate-filled darkness. Kidding, there's a page break. My mind was racing, banging violently to the accursed rhythm of the unknown fall. Oh my gosh. To the accursed rhythm that the unknown fall caused me. I was aware of what was going on, but too lightheaded to open my eyes, locked in fear of my mystifying surroundings. I fluttered my eyes slowly to view my landing spot. Spinning, I looked down to see nothing. A blank, pure black space of nothingness, scaring me, concerning me about my safety. Turning my head to look above, I was hoping to find a source of light. I found one, however. It was in an awful dim red color. Somehow it was being reflected off something I could not see, a thing that must have been amazingly bright. Ever so delicately I stood up, shaking worse than jello, still locked into the haze of the clouded darkness. The fog was thick, yet transparent. A lot like Umbra! Oh my gosh, what happened to him? Bent in fear, I grabbed my forehead to suppress the impulses attacking my brain. What if something happened to him? Did he even come with me into this forbidden wasteland? There was no path, and everything looked the same, no matter where I turned or what direction I faced. How was I ever going to get out? I kept looking and looking. My eyeballs were decoding every shape before me, wishing with all my heart to find any sign to help me break out of this hazy prison. It was dead quiet. Wait, I didn't like that phrasing. It was completely, utterly silent, making my fears blossom into, "Don't go that way! Head west, hurry!" I had no idea where the voice came from, who it was, or even if it was directed at me, but I ran with tears blurred in my eyes. With all my might, I jetted across the smooth, barren black arena. It was so chilly that I could feel the cold through my shoes and socks as my frantic feet ran. I wasn't sure if I was going in the right direction, but all of a sudden, I fell and my face felt the shivers that my feet had mere seconds before. I tapped my left shoe to the ground before turning to get up to feel a bump, a large, smooth bump. That must have been what I tripped over. My right cheek frothed, my teeth chattered, my hands were dirty and sandy, making sitting up difficult. I found the strength to get to my knees, sliding my feet with care behind me as I bent down with my tightening side. The process made my breathing stagger. I gulped and noticed a sickly, potent odor dancing around my nose. It seemed to be in front of me. Curious, I opened my eyes to see a pond of strange, thick, red liquid. It's blood. I heard Umbra's voice right behind me, his body freezing and warm behind my back, but my wide eyes were trapped on the motionlessness of the pond. Shaking, I could not look away from the pool of still, motionless blood, staring at me like common water. "Where is this place?" I asked in a quivering voice, frightened of knowing the answer, yet I had a sinking feeling Umbra knew. To be blunt, Starry, we're inside my mind. All right, and that's a little bit of chapter 10. If you want to know about Starry, Umbra, and Marin's adventures in the spiritual world and to see what happens, you can get your copy of Spirit Vision. If you want to contact me directly for an autographed copy, which I'd be happy to do for free, we can talk about that, or you can order off Amazon. There are 3 books in the series so far, and they are $12 a piece, and then shipping between me or Amazon or whatever. If you have a Kindle, because again I sell from Amazon, the ebook is only $3, I believe, because my company does not believe in charging you the same price for things that we have to use material for a digital file. I think that's kind of silly. So $3 to $12. If you have any questions or want to know about products, let me know. Hopefully conventions will start opening up soon. I always sell my books at conventions, and I do bundle deals and stuff like that, and I love interacting with people. And if you've read the book, I'd love to know your thoughts, or if you have questions, I'd love to talk to you about that. So this is my young adult paranormal and mystery series, book 1, Spirit Vision. And I'm really glad I got to share it with you guys. So I hope you like this. I'll do another reading from a different book next week. And until then, take care. Know you're awesome. Stay safe. And above all, live nerdy. All right. Haku and I are signing off. Bye.